Welcome to part 3 of making the Sabrina Carpenter corset. And we are back to beading and rhinestoning. So bedazzling is taking the longest, and by longest I mean finishing 2 Lord of the Rings movies longest. But that's okay because my assistant manager Luna is making sure that I press on and that I keep working and making sure that everything is to her quality standard. She has very rigorous quality expectations from me. Now that it's sparkly enough to cause a plane crash, I'm sewing the panels together. And then I felt like I'd get yelled at if I didn't press my seam, so I did that, but then it kind of felt scary with the rhinestones. I don't know, this just didn't seem right, but I felt like I needed to do it. Now I'm sewing the pretty shell and the lining together, and if you don't know what I mean by shell, don't worry about it. And here is the universal sewing symbol of it's time to go to bed, the empty bobbin, and that's what we did. And I realized my dress form is so freaking creepy in the bedroom like this, and I don't know why I have it in here right next to my bed. But it is now morning, which means it's time to replenish the bobbin and get back to sewing. I also got this fortune that says my present plans are going to succeed, and my present plans are hitting 100,000 followers, so if you want to help me make that happen, that would be really nice. But now I'm sewing the top and bottom edging, and I just thought this video was really nice to freak you guys out at how close my fingers are getting to the needle. You're welcome. And then I did a little fold down top stitch situation here to make sure that the lining was hidden and held down properly. And we got to add our lace trim to our bias tape that we're making, so that is what I did. And then I started attaching that all to the top, and I stabbed myself about 50 times, and then I sewed that down. Bada bing bada boom, you know, it's all just sewing at this point. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, at this point I completely forgot that I needed a way to fasten this thing, and I cannot find a picture for the life of me of what the back of Sabrina's looks like, so I just decided to go with grommets and to lace it up because it's a corset and lacing it up just makes sense, so I think that's fine. But putting in grommets is a pain in the what? Maybe not as much of a pain as a zipper, but maybe kind of close. But this is kind of what I do. You do just don't cut the fabric because then your grommets will fall out, so you kind of just need to shove things in to the grommet hole until it becomes wide enough to shove your meaty little grommet in there, and then it just works better. But yeah, I hope that makes sense. Like if you stretch out the fabric, then it's less likely to have your grommets fall out. But then at this point, I just hammer that sucker down and it should stay real nice. But I'm so close to being finished this thing. There's just a couple extra details, and then I have to do the final reveal shoot, and then we are all done. So I can't wait to see you guys for part 4.